hello. Here we are at the Four Bells Fitness Emporium for workout at home number 8. This is our second workout in our 6-week push-up cycle. So just because it's a push-up cycle doesn't mean we do push-ups every single day. Of course, if you were to do that, it could potentially lead to some horrendous injury. We don't want that. And of course, there's more to life than just push-ups. So today is a lower body focused day. In particular, we'll be looking at hinging and more specifically, deadlifting mechanics. So our warm-up today is hopefully meant to support the work we are doing, try and warm up some of the muscles that we are going to use. So our warm-up is quite straightforward today. We have 3 exercises, 1, 2, 3, and we are doing these 3 exercises 3 times for a total of 3 rounds. Our warm-up is quite straightforward. I'm going to do some air squats for 5 reps. We're going to go over how to do the air squat before we begin. A slightly more complex squat that kind of relies a lot more on ankle range of motion, but also has a little bit of momentum component to it as well, and is a nice precursor to the pistol, which we're going to be doing in our strength work today. And last but not least, the one-leg glute bridge. So with the one-leg glute bridge, we're looking to warm up the posterior chain, in particular the buns. Point the buns again, there we go, thank you very much. Looking at the buns to make sure that the posterior chain is firing and ready for deadlifting. So, let's talk about these 3 movements very quickly. You move that way, I'll go this way. Nicely done, camera person. So, when it comes to the air squat, we do air squats a lot in our warm-up. And they're a very good diagnostic tool to kind of let our body know how we're feeling first of all. So with the air squat, as we start off, as always, it's looking at where should my feet be. We spoke about this countless times. How do the hips feel? Where should my toes be relative to how my hip is designed? For me, it's always straight down from the hips. I like to turn my toes out 5 to 10 degrees just to create a bit more space from the hip. I'm going to keep that chest up as I push the hips back, drive the knees out, and descend down into that squat. So I want to make sure that every single squat comes with a full range of motion. Am I getting as much closure in that knee joint as possible, as much contact between hamstring and calf? Always making sure we're not relaxed in that bottom position. Are we engaged? And it should be 5 delicious air squats. When we get into the dead squat is a little bit complex because it involves us rolling back and then coming back up and almost popping back up into a deep squat position. So for a lot of people, if I show you how the deck squat looks first of all, for a lot of people the scary part is falling back. So I'm going to have my feet pretty much hip width. I'm going to squat down. I'm going to use this little plate as a counterweight at first. I then roll back, tuck the chin, and from here, we pop up, pause for a second. Do I own the bottom of that squat? And from there, stand back up. Again, notice the feet are a little bit closer than they normally are when I squat. I squat down, pause, tuck the chin, roll back, throw the point, pause, stand up. That's our deck squat. So if you find that with the deck squat, the plate really helps. If you don't have a plate, use a can. As some of our members have been use cans of chickpeas, whatever you need to help get that momentum forwards. If you have a little bit of an issue with ankle mobility, that little bit of weight forwards will help you stick the bottom of the squat position. Last but not least, glute bridge. Nice controlled fall, just like a deck squat. All I'm going to do is be with a position of about 90 degrees with the leg, maybe a little bit closer than that. And all I'm looking to focus on as we do a one-leg glute bridge is to take one of my legs, extend it to the ceiling, and I'm just going to drive that hip forwards. So I drive the hip up, can I engage the glute? I like to give myself a little jab in the bum, make sure it's definitely engaged, relax down to the floor, reach up with the heel, squeeze the glute. We're going to do 5 reps on 5 reps on 5 sides. There's only 2 sides, 5 reps per side. So it's 5 air squats, 10 deck squats, 5 per side on the glute bridge. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay, so workout from home number 8. This is our strength piece. So as I mentioned just before we talked about warm-up, today is a hinging focused day. But as you know, if you look at our programming, we like to do antagonist pairings. So like a push with a pull. We'll do a hinge with a squat. So today, when we're doing our hinging focus, which is going to be deadlifting, depending on whether you're in a gym situation with weights or equipment, or whether you're at home, we are pairing that hinging with a squatting exercise today as well, in particular the pistol squat. So our strength piece today is going to be 5 sets. Each set is 3 minutes long. Within that 3-minute window, we have some supersets to do. So whether you're in the gym or whether you are at home, you have a pairing, some kind of hinging or some kind of deadlift with some kind of squat, some kind of pistol squat variation. So if I'm in the gym with a barbell, with weights available, it will be a barbell deadlift for 10 reps today. So at 10 reps, we're existing within a hypertrophy or muscle building rep range. So the idea is, of course, try and get heavier as those 5 sets go on. As we know with the deadlift, with a slightly longer rep range, we've always got to protect the low back first. Once I've done my deadlifts, we're going to talk in our little next clip about pistol variations, where I'm going to do 3 reps per side. So with the pistol, in my opinion, probably the de facto movement in terms of mobility and strength for the lower body. And of course, it helps balance the legs out unilaterally, which means do I have one leg stronger than the other? Ideally, we can balance them out. If you don't have equipment at home and you're just doing this at home with very limited equipment available, we're going to be doing a single leg deadlift variation today. I'm going to be doing 5 reps per side, so still 10 reps like we did if we were doing the barbell version. And then again, pistol variation for 3 reps per side. So first of all, let's talk about deadlift variations. So if you're at home, you've got a barbell available to you, or maybe you've just got dumbbells or kettlebells available to you, we should be looking to do 10 reps with the deadlift. So with the deadlift, as always, the deadlift is not a squat. It's not a squat, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's not a squat, it's a hinge, which means the focus is away from the anterior chain, quads, hips, abs, and the focus is now posterior chain, which means hamstrings, glutes, low back. So we want to make sure that when we're setting up for our deadlift, that we're really emphasizing those muscle groups. Probably the biggest mistake I see when people deadlift, particularly if they're new to deadlifting, is that they want to drop it like a squat, and we notice how far forward that shin angle comes. If I'm really allowing the ankle to dorsiflex, it really means I'm loading up the quads, which in turn means the hamstring and glutes aren't getting as much work as they should be. Which means then in turn, it's very easy for me to extend using the quads and potentially lead to some low back shenanigans if that happens along the way. So, when I'm on a barbell, or whether I'm with a dumbbell, or whether I'm with kettlebells, the setup should be approximately the same. I'm going to have the feet hip width. If you know your hips are a little bit tight, and we're going to turn the toes out slightly, I'm going to push the hips back, load the hamstring, load the glute as I bring my hands down to the bar. Making sure the hands are nice and even on the bar. I've got a nice bit of distance between the hands and the knees. Keeping the hips low, chest high. I load the hamstring, load the glute, keep the back nice and neutral. Shoulders and hips rise together. And when I get above the knee, we drive the hips through. Pushing the hips back. When I get to the knee, smooth on the way down. Shoulders and hips come up together. Shoulders and hips come down together. And as always, protecting that low back. We'll be doing the barbell deadlift for 10 reps today. If I'm going to do a single leg deadlift, maybe I'm just doing this body weight. I would say if balance is an issue, then definitely just do it at body weight. Excuse me. But what I would say is if we do have some weight available, try and add some weight to the opposite side. So if I'm standing on my right leg, we hold the weight on the opposite side if I can. As always, hinging with the single leg deadlift, slightly different to the barbell version. With this version, the hips just go back. I'm not going back and then down. So I push that hip back, load the hamstring, load the glute, making sure we take care of that spine position. I'm not rounding the back. We keep the chest up, drive the hip through, squeeze the glute. I reach back with that leg, load the hamstring, load the glute, and then driving that hip forwards. So those are our deadlift variations today. All right, pistol progressions. Now, whether you are at home or whether you are in the gym, there may be some resources available to you. So if you're at home, there's always going to be things you can sit on. You can sit on a couch, you can sit on a dining room chair, you can sit on maybe some kind of trunk that contains your winter clothes, maybe you've got some steps. There's a lot of things if you use your imagination. So let's imagine that this little bench right here is a dining room chair, or maybe your couch. This is probably the easiest way to set up pistol progressions, but of course, depending on the height of that object, it is going to restrict the range of motion that you have. But if you know as well, like you know yourself, my pistols aren't that strong yet and I have a limited range of motion, then depending on the object you use, this may be a way for you to increase that range of motion slightly. Either way, the emphasis when doing a pistol is yes, we're doing it on one leg, but the mechanics of the squat are the same. I'm still leaning back with the hip. I'm still trying to bring that hip all the way down to the ankle, of course, depending on which object I'm using. So if I'm using a chair or the couch, what I'm going to do is extend the non-working leg. Arms out in front a little bit for balance. I reach back with the hip, control down. Try not to relax entirely. Try and keep some tension through the working leg, and then we drive the hip forward and stand up. Reaching back with the hip, we drive forwards. If that's easy, you've got to find a way to make it a little bit harder. So maybe it's not that chair, not that bench, not that step. Maybe we find something a little bit lower. If you have something big available to you, maybe you're in your back garden and you want to do this off the side of your deck, you can use a box or something a little bit higher up. What we're looking for here is when I'm using something that's a little bit higher, is really trying not to get into this position where I'm doing like a 90-degree bend in the leg. I still want to shift that weight forwards, try to get as much ankle range of motion as possible, as much connection between hamstring and calf as possible. Making sure that when I'm going from the bottom up, this leg doesn't help too much. I'm not doing a one-legged jump. I'm shifting forwards, drive off this leg, and then lead with the hip on the way down. Shift forward with the ankle, and we drive up. If that's pretty easy for you, maybe we're going from the top down now. So with the top down, I'm looking to first of all make sure I've got decent balance. I'm going to reach back with the hip, control, 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 control. Reach forward with the hands for balance. And if you find it's easier to stand up, or you just want to relax entirely up to you what works best in terms of your pistol progression. You can just work the eccentric phase on the way down and see if you can control the bottom position and then try and stand up. Last but not least, those two options aren't available to you. Excuse me. Most people have some kind of post in their house, whether this is a door frame, whether it's the banister of your stairs. I actually like to hold onto a door that's got doorknobs on it, hold onto those door handles. Either way, I'm trying to use this position as little as possible. So I'm going to set my foot up maybe about a foot's length away from that post. I'm going to reach forward with the hands, push the hips back, and just use this post to assist me as much as I need it in that bottom position. Try not to turn it into a chin up, and then from there, standing back up. Use those arms as little as possible, and that's our pistol progressions for today. Okay, so workout number 8, conditioning piece. What have we got on deck today? Join me a little bit lower. I almost feel when I'm squatting down, I'm like a 90s hip hop video somehow. We are doing a 15-minute AMRAP today, 900 seconds of joy, where we have an aerobic component and we have some explosive leg movements to get through as well. So these movements are meant to accessorize our strength piece today. We're using kettlebell swings as a means to strengthen that posterior chain. We are using slam ball squats to strengthen the anterior part of the leg, strengthen the quads, and then we're using a ball slam to work on explosive hip flexion, make those hips and abs very strong as well. So with our 15-minute AMRAP, 30 kettlebell swings, 100 meters of something. We're going to talk about some alternatives for that in just a second. 20 slam ball squats, 100-meter run or row. Again, we're going to talk about alternatives. And last but not least, 10 ball slam. So when it comes to these exercises, we first of all need to talk about how they should look if you have all of that equipment at home. If you are lucky enough to have a kettlebell, if you're lucky enough to have a slam ball, how should it look when you're doing it? Well, the kettlebell swing is very similar to that barbell deadlift that we did. Just like with the single leg deadlift, with the hip hinge that comes with the kettlebell swing, it's not about bringing the hips back and down, we are just pushing the hips back. So I hinge, load the hamstring, load the glute, drive that hip forward aggressively. At the top of each swing should be quads engaged, glutes engaged, abs engaged. So as we always say in the gym, no one likes a lazy lower, so make sure that you are nice and snappy with that kettlebell swing. Once you've done your kettlebell swings, we've got 100 meters of something to do. We're going to talk about that more in just a second. From there, I come on to 20 slam ball squats. With my slam ball squat, I hold the ball in what we like to call the cuddle squat position. If you're into wrestling, you use a gate ball grip, or you can interlink the fingers together. Either way, keeping the hands at face level, I'm going to descend into that squat, making sure that as I squat, that ball doesn't pull me forwards. I keep the chest up nice and high, hands high. My personal cue is, can I see my hands in front of my face the entire time? Then again, we've got 100 meters of something to do before I do 10 ball slams. With the ball slam, I reach high, slam it, making sure that again, when I come down, I don't sacrifice that spinal position. Hips low, chest high. So let's say you don't have a kettlebell. What can we do instead? So the home version could be lay on the edge of your couch or a comfy box or something, resting just below the shoulder blades on the edge of this object. I'm going to close the hip, reach up, and we're going to do 15 single leg glute bridges on one side and then 15 on the other. If I don't have a slam ball available to me, maybe I'm going to do 20 body weight squats. I don't necessarily need to hold something in the hand, or if you can be inventive, do be inventive. If you've got a bag of groceries, excuse me, or a bag of potatoes, anything you can hold on to that object and just encourage yourself to keep that chest high. With the ball slam, if you don't have a ball to slam, I probably recommend some jumping squats today. Making sure we absorb that force and try and repeat that effort over and over and over again. So now, 100 meters. Maybe you can run outside. Maybe it's easy for you to leave your house, run down the street, come back. Maybe you've got a rowing machine. Maybe you've got a ski lift. Maybe you've got an old treadmill. Whatever it is, try to think about how you can get 100 meters in. And if it feels pretty easy, then maybe try and make it a little bit harder. All I would say is that 100 meters shouldn't really take more than 30 seconds. So if running, rowing, skiing, biking is not available, it could just be 50 jumping jacks. It could be 50 high knees. Either way, about 30 seconds of work is what we're looking for. And of course, if you've got any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, send us a message on Slack if you're in the gym, or drop us an email.